Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Alex here. On a lot of my videos, I've noticed a lot of you have questions on very particular projects you're working on that you'd like some answers to. So I decided, why don't I start putting out videos where I actually answer some of these questions? Now, this very first video where I answer a subscriber question on one of their projects, this one comes from a subscriber named Ahmad Ishmael. And if I pronounce that wrong, just, correct me in the comments. He's working on a pretty cool project. He wants to work with the Nemo file manager for the Cinnamon desktop environment for the Mint Linux operating system. So essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can show him how to go through and build this file manager on Cinnamon on Mint. So let's take a look at it. First things first, I'm running on just regular Debian Ubuntu. I think I'm either on like Unity or Nautilus. I don't know exactly what my desktop environment is. Pretty sure it's called Unity. So I'll be installing a virtual machine just so that way I can get inside the environment that Ahmad is running on. So I'm going to be getting a ISO straight from the Mint Linux website, and we're going to open this up in VirtualBox. So an ISO, VirtualBox, these are all related to a type of program called a virtual machine. I'll probably explain them more in a later video, but for right now, we're essentially just running a computer on my computer. All right, so once that's all downloaded, we're going to set it up in VirtualBox. So I'm kind of just going to whiz through all the setup configurations here. You're going to want to make sure you select Linux and Ubuntu type 64-bit, assuming you downloaded 64-bit Mint Linux. Apparently, Mint and Ubuntu are pretty similar. They're definitely both based on Debian, but I'm not so sure if Mint is based on Ubuntu or not. This is actually my first time running Mint Linux, so I'm definitely not an expert, but it's been recommended to me by a bunch of Linux loving friends. Just to make sure, you'll also want to allocate more than just like 1 gig of memory for it. That was giving me issues when I had test ran this a few times before actually recording. So now that we got our VM set up, all we have to do is we want to install Git because Git does not come pre-installed on Linux operating systems, which I feel like it really should. I mean, like Linus Torvalds kind of created Linux and he also created Git, so it's like, why would you not put that in a patch? But whatever, I'm rambling. Just install Git, and that way we can clone the Nemo project. Right, so once we have a clone into the directory, we're going to want to run this special command I came across while test running this project before recording all this. And it's DPackage-build package. Now, this is a pretty cool little command. I don't know how it works. This is my first time hearing about it, but it seems to work like magic. So it tells you a bunch of the libraries you're going to want to install from app-get in order to build your package, which I don't know how it works, but I'll probably do a video on it at some point. For right now, it's a pretty good stopgap, and it sort of tells me what we have to install to make sure this package builds. So once we've done all that, we'll see all the packages output from dpackage. So we're going to want to sudo app-get install all of those. Okay, so finally they're installed. Let's go ahead and run messin build and build Nemo. Okay, well, JK, it looks like we have to install a few more packages. So let's just go ahead and repeat the process for those. Most notably, we're going to want to make sure we have libcinnamon dev desktop. Libcinnamon desktop dev, rather. That is the development packages that sort of go hand in hand with the Cinnamon desktop environment, which I could only presume is what, Nemo is built on to actually interface with the desktop environment. All right, once we've installed all that, we can go ahead and run messin build, and it'll actually go through and work this time. Okay, cool. So messin build is there. If you look in the build directory, we have like a bunch of files because when you run messin and then any given name, that's actually the directory that'll put all the build files in. So if I ran messin bin, then we're going to want to check in the bin directory and all that, so on and so on. But I think it's just like tradition or whatever to say messin build. So that's all good and well, but it hasn't actually built the project yet. Meson is a meta build system, so it actually creates input files for a different build system called Ninja. And if you had seen my video on Meson and Ninja, you would already know this. So now that we've already run Meson, we're going to want to build with Ninja. So we're going to want to use the command ninja-c build. The -c says go to the build directory and then run Ninja. So you don't have to like cd into there, just do the ninja-c build. So Ninja is a much more complex sort of build system than say Meson or a lot of others. Its inputs file is not designed to be coded by humans, it's designed to be output by other build systems. So it's fairly complex, but also pretty low level and optimized. That being said, this still does take a little while to build, so you could only imagine how many different executables we're actually building with this one command for the entire Nemo project. But eventually this build will run, and we have, if we look inside ./build/source, there's a bunch of executables. One of them is Nemo. So when we go ahead and run that, voila, we have a fully functional file manager for the Cinnamon desktop environment for the Linux Mint operating system. How cool is that? Okay, hopefully all of you enjoyed the video, especially Ahmad. If you did, please consider giving me a like, share, comment, subscribe, follow my social media, or click the little notification bell so that way you never miss out when I upload a new video. If you're working on a project and you're kind of stumped on one part, just leave a comment down below and I'll see if I can get to it in a future video. Apart from that, I don't have too much else to say, so thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next week.